go! Ladies and gentlemen, I have returned. Hope you guys are doing good. As if I'm doing okay today. Let's go! Wow, let's make some games! Come on! How you guys doing, everybody in chat? Come on! Oh, give me some big W's today. Come on! Hey, #1 streamer. Oh, my man. Thank you. Oops, wrong stream. Oh, let me ban you. Lies. That's what it is, bro. Lies. Hello, Mr. Strimmer. My man. Good morning. Come on, big W's. Yeah, big W's in chat, my bros. Let us go. First ban less than a minute in. True. Look, guys. They changed.
Hello.
How do you? They changed YouTube to be a little bit more like Twitch. Top fans, XP. You can kind of earn points now, I guess. It's just like the Twitch thing here, with cheers, weekly gifted, and I guess clips. So they are learning. This is new. I think I saw this today for the first time. It's crazy. Good morning, you guys. Hope you're doing good. So there's one thing we didn't do yesterday. Wait, let me see. I have emails here. I didn't do this. And also I need to change my fonto in English to Cakez, so that I give him feedback on the game. But he messaged me on Discord that we didn't really have much time, but he messaged me on Discord saying that the feedback was very helpful. And it's really cool to see that he made his game in C and in Scripton. Maybe you here, bro? I want to know a little bit more about Scripton, what he has to say about that. Okay, let me see here. Like that. Good morning, you guys. Hello, Jova. Long time no see, by the way. Good morning. Yeah, so by the way, this is wishlist the game on Steam. If you're, that's actually really cool. I don't know if it helped him a lot or helped him a bit. No, helped him out at all. Me playing the game yesterday. What is your guys' opinion on the game? Now that maybe some of you have played it too. Is there a link to the itch page? I guess not, isn't it? So, Chicken Guardian or Guardian Chicken Itch. Guardian Chicken on Steam. No, not on Steam. itch.io. Is it this one? Eh? Hacker? What? Terminal hacker? What the hell? itch.io. Hey, didn't we play that yesterday? Wait. Let's see. Guardian Chicken demo. Ah, here. There it is. So, did it help him? Did some of you guys play? This Cakez guy again. Hello there, Michael. Good morning. It's been so long since yesterday. Dodge. Good Tag, Mr. Smith on YouTube. Good morning, man. Essentially, my feedback for the game is we talked about that yesterday. Let's mute this. I haven't played it. What's with this game? The game looks good, but I think there's quite a bit of stuff to work on. What do you guys think? What is your guys' opinion on the game? I closed the old VOD 3 minutes ago. For me, it was not yesterday, but 5 minutes ago. Super cool. What is your opinion? Or do you guys not want to give opinions because you're scared to upset or say something bad? I think it's important to give honest feedback. And while I like the game, I think level 3 was way too difficult to overcome. And then the armored units did not really have a clear distinction that they are armored units. Meaning, when I encountered an armored unit, I needed to remember a shape and not a picture. So listen, I'm gonna pull it up every day now. You guys, it's gonna turn into a meme, but it is how it is. Kingdom Rush, the wiki. Not this one. Sorry, wiki. Why is this lagging so much, bro? Wiki. Generally, I like the game, but it does need a bit of extra work. But where? The small scope is fine, though. The small scope is fine. Yes, I agree. Like, even if there's no meta progression, the thing that I was missing was an incentive to play the game. To play this game here. So I was stuck in level 3, which, okay, fine. You're stuck in a level, that's okay. But, like, to give you an idea, when let's open up Steam. When I play Kingdom Rush, and I like playing that a lot, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, and I'm stuck in a level, and I haven't gotten all of the stars yet, meta progression stars, there's always something I can do. Like, for example, if I go with the 11 out of 30 stars, every time I let's say I fail this level or I only get 2 stars on this level, I'm like, okay, wait. What type of upgrades can I get to make that level easier? Do I rush this and then get 2 upgrades here, reset, or do I just get something else? And so, like in Kingdom Rush, with the limited amount of stars, but the possibility to change my units and make them stronger, that allows me to play the same level, replay it, but have a different outcome every time. I was missing that with this game. Why? Because there is no meta progression. There's no points I earn that I could spend on power-ups that allow me to change the gameplay in a way where the outcome is different depending on what I pick up. And so it kind of feels like there's more or less one valid strategy to overcome the levels. That's what it feels like. And so, yeah, and then the color, obviously the enemies are all of the same, are all the same color. Which one of the enemies are armored enemies and which ones are not? Well, in Kingdom Rush, the enemies... Kingdom Rush, yeah, there we go. Kingdom Rush, and then we go and look at enemies, right? Kingdom Rush enemies. Enemies. Category enemies, yeah. Why is it not... Bro. Huh? What the hell? Why can I not find the enemies? Bro, you're annoying. Here it is. So I can remember that the orc has armor because he looks different than the goblin. They might have the same color, but their physical shape looks different. Here it's really difficult to tell which one of the enemies is an armored enemy and which one is not, which leads to just spamming different types of towers until you find a good distribution of towers that works, if that makes sense. And by the way, that's the level I lost on, isn't it? Yeah, that's level 3. And he's losing too. Look at this. Yeah, I think level 3 is a bit too hard, too difficult. Hello, daily streamer. Hello, Enix. Good morning. Hello. How you doing today, Mr. Cakez? Hope all is well. Super Tonic. Good morning. Hope you're doing good too. Yes, all is well today. And so let's give some feedback. How long did I play? Less than 30 minutes, I think. Or like, yeah, this is a bit odd because it says less than 30 minutes and then about an hour. Okay, whatever. Let's see. And then how fun did you find the game? I would say 5. Because again, I'm missing replayability. But it's not so boring that I stop at level 1. But level 3 is too difficult. So the fun is between 4 and 5. How difficult was that game? Too difficult on level 3, otherwise it was too easy. So too easy to go too hard. So it's imbalanced. So it's too hard, yeah, it's too hard. Were the game controls clear? No, totally not. I'm missing a button to just start a round. Wave, comma. Controls were unintuitive at first. The Q and E stuff. That was a bit odd. Double tapping E in dialogue can lead to placing a tower by accident. Okay. Did the tutorial help you understand the game? If not, please describe any parts that were unclear. There was a tutorial? I didn't read much text. Prefer show but don't tell. Animation or scripted events that make me place towers and crops stuff. Check all the mechanics that you were able to understand. I know the speciality of each tower is. Nope. I know how the enemy armor works and how to counter them effectively. No, I know the farming mechanic works and how to get the cabbage crop to make some... Yeah, but he told me how to do that, so... Did you like the art style? Yes, a lot. I love the minimal design. I love that a lot. Really good. That's awesome. Only one choice? Yeah. Did you encounter any bugs or glitches? Maybe the controls bug on the browser version. What changes would you like to see in the current demo version? Nerf level 3. Play button that starts the round. Maybe a hotkey for that too. It was difficult to distinguish the armored enemies. Improved hotkeys for placing towers. E. Spamming E. In dialogue. Dialogue. Results in placing a tower by accident. We go. Let's give him proper feedback. Have you any other ideas or features you think would make the game better? A meta progression. Simple but effective. When stuck in a level, spend points differently to get a different outcome. Could affect tower types. Wait, could affect tower types, crops, and buff towers and Teslas. And then Use existing stars as currency. Basically just like Kingdom Rush, but it works. So, how about did you, HIO, I guess other, you watch my stream. I guess. Enter your email below. Well, yeah. I mean, you guys can see that email. That's fine. That's my, like, business email, guys. I'm gonna give him my email. So maybe when he has a good update. Submit. Really cool. Short and sweet. Good stuff. Submit. Chicken Guardian demo feedback. Cool. Very important. Yeah, very important to give this guy feedback. He also has a Steam page. It's been up for quite some time. He has, I think, about 100 reviews, I would assume. Let's see, how long has this been out for? Since May, so a couple of months already. June, July, yep. Wait, June? Wait, is it June? We have July. What's happening here? Is this like a ditch? Did it not? We have July. Chicken demo, is there a public demo? Yeah, this is a public demo here. For those of you who are interested in the game and want to give him feedback too. Hey man, hey, Signal Spike Games, good morning. Yo, what's up? Hey, A6 Gitty World, good morning. Hey man, how are you? You are an incredible content creator. I love your friendliness, please. No, it really helps inspire others of us. Thank you, man. God damn, this guy's message. Look at this, guys. Holy, thank you very much, man. Goodness. That's a big vegan, yeah, true. Anyways, cool. Very happy about this. Hope he can make his game better. Gotta love this game. I really wanna, even though I already played through this, I kinda wanna play through this again. I think it's just much better than Bloons, man. Okay, fine, you don't have that many upgrades, right? Not that many different tower types. But I feel like you don't really need them. The simplistic tower design works a lot. I really love the upgrades here. This is awesome. Because it's impactful enough to make a difference in the levels. Really cool. Anyways. Okay, so guys, two options. React first. And coding after, or coding first and React after. What do you guys think? Oh, my man. Hypnotic Games. Thank you very much for the raid, man. Appreciate that, bro. Actually, I think I played it around 2012 when I was... Kingdom Rush is one of my own favorite games. Yeah, me too. Me too. React first. I'm here for one React. Yeah? React first. Never React. Coding first. Good day, donuts. Donuts? Duns? Good day, yeah, Gduns. Gduns. What does that mean? Good morning. What have you been doing, bro? What's your stream? What you doing on stream, man? Welcome, bro. Thank you very much for the raid. How about all focus mode? I've been coding a lot on my work, man. It's been fucking annoying, I'm telling you, man. Shit just doesn't work there, man. And you know what the hardest part is? There's literally no documentation. So I have to find out everything myself. You have like an application. Don't know how to install it. No documentation, nothing. No handbook. Just figure it out, bro. It sucks. So like I managed to get the web page to show, but when I log in, it just keeps showing the web page for logging in. So I log in successfully because I know I have access to the database. I log in and it shows me the login page after logging in. Nice. Love it. Now I have to figure out how to get past that. No documentation. Let's go. Love it. It is Hypnotic Games on Twitch. He is an indie game dev streamer using Godot. Oh, Godot. Wait, I saw something on Discord. That Mr. Bite You Well linked. I wonder what you have to say about that, my brother. Here. So he says... Godot Project Manager. That shit doesn't have autocomplete. What the fuck? Trash ban. Trash bin. So PlaytestUL is starting to understand, huh? He's wrong, it has it? Yeah? Oh, it's wrong. He's wrong, yeah. I see. I guess it does have that then. Okay. I'm working on my Bobblehead Soup Simulator. Bobblehead Soup Simulator? Wait, what the hell? Who's that? Is that on Steam? No, it's not on Steam yet. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, guys, we're gonna do a reaction first. Nah, not yet. Been on Steam page, working on a Steam page. How long have you been working on the game? Ever since you started? Okay, guys, we're gonna start. Terrible advice on YouTube. What is the worst game dev advice on YouTube? And I know you guys love him. You love his dramatic takes, his cuts, his B-roll, his zooms. It's gonna be a juicy reaction! Let's go! Terrible advice. I know that there's a lot of terrible advice on YouTube, especially by people who have never finished a game. But hey. Okay? Let's see.
I've been watching a lot of game dev YouTube. I've been watching it for the last like 10 years.
I was wrong. Ooh, that is from Jonas Tyroler, by the way. Oh yeah, he says, this video was inspired by Jonas Tyroler's awesome video. Oh, it's an awesome video. Okay.
And there's some YouTubers who've said some really stupid things.
Oh, so him. So my thumbnail is correct. Okay, yeah, good.
And what's...
For those of you who are wondering, like I made a thumbnail like this. Bad advice. Okay. Yeah.
so funny is we're going to talk about these pieces of advice. I'm going to call them the sneaky three. I'll tell you why they're called the sneaky three. Hang on. But these three pieces of advice have been rumbling around on YouTube and on Reddit and on Twitter for like a decade. And again, I've said these things too. And after 10 years of experience, I've been published 3 times. I've released 2 games on every single platform. On my 3rd game, it's a 3D game published by 3D Realms. Just giving you some credibility there. After all of this experience, I'm just like, oh man, the advice that these 3 things.
But can you okay? So his first game was alone, right? He made it alone. Can you really? I always get the feeling that this is a company more so than like just 2 dudes or 3 dudes making an indie game. Maybe I'm wrong. It feels more business related than. I guess it is though. So like for me, an indie game developer is super cool. For example, Pogo Stuck. Made by himself. In his own room. His own house. Like not a real, like, okay, you have to have a business in Germany to do that. But essentially, that's what I would call an indie game developer. Maybe, like, for example, you could make this with your friend or with a colleague that you know, and you split the revenue, something like that. For me, this is more like his side, which is not wrong, not bad, by the way. It's more business related, if that makes sense.
That I keep hearing over and over again. They're kind of bothering me. They're bugging me because I don't think they're true. What's so funny is they sound like proverbs, and we'll get into what they are, but they sound like these wise proverbs of game dev, when in reality,
there's nothing tangible about that advice. It sounds smart, and the people that give that advice usually have no clue what they're talking about, but since they sound smart and they speak with authority, that makes them right to the people that are watching, because they're stupid too. That's just what it is.
They're sneaky.
They're farming noobs for content and money. That's what it is.
They're not true. Let's get into them. The first one is avoid feature creep. This one...
That is true, but it's nothing tangible. Because you can't really... It always depends on the type of game that you make and how you structure your game development time. Did you write down exact features of the game that you wanted to? And when do you identify feature creep? It's really difficult to do.
It seems so wise.
And that's something that you just learn over time. You can't do that from day one because you have never been down the rabbit hole of feature creep. For example, writing a parser for PNG files is feature creep. If you're working on a game, that is. If you're learning how to become a really good programmer and an engine programmer that solely relies on their own tech, then that's not feature creep. But if you want to make a game, writing a PNG parser in C++ or in C is the definition of feature. That's not even game related. You could have, that's like even further down the rabbit hole. But yeah, that's obvious.
Of course you don't want to include too much in your game. Of course you don't want to let too much come into your game that is outside the scope of your game, right? And this is true on the surface, but there's a huge problem, which is how do you know it's feature creep? Well, reference by GDD, right? Or
that's not how feature creep is defined. If your game needs PNGs and you want an engine yourself, you need it. Yeah, but then you get a library that does that for you, like STB image. You include that, it's a header-only library, and you move on. And it doesn't have any impact on performance nor compilation time. Maybe like a tiny portion, it's like 0.1 second, but that's nothing. Like absolutely nothing.
Let's reference the
And
hook.
you can put it in a pre-compiled header so that you never have to deal with that at all.
Of the game. What's the hook of the game? Well, let's reference what the log line of the game is. What's the loop of the game? So, for example, I've talked about this on live streams, but Twisted Tower. I'm working on a game called Twisted Tower.
Yeah.
I released
BioShock
the demo
clone.
And what was so funny is the things that seemed like feature creep
So BioShock
are
clone.
the things that people love the most.
Yeah, for example.
So, for example, the confetti, when a balloon pops and confetti comes out of the balloon, or just
But that's not feature creep, that's just juice. Why is he calling that feature creep, bro? And where's the music, bro? Should I bring my music in? Here we go. That is not feature creep, that is not power creep, that is juice. That is making something more impactful in the game so that you feel more, how's it called? Satisfied when you shoot your gun. It's not a feature, yeah, it's not.
popping balloons in general,
That isn't feature
or
creep, yeah.
looting objects, breaking crates,
He's talking about juice.
just really simple stuff
Juice is nuts! Sorry.
that
I had
honestly
to-
you think,
sorry.
well, okay, that's sort of just a side tangent.
The door's open because she left it open. It's your own fault for leaving the door open, okay? You know how I react.
For the game. Let's not worry too much about that. Let's focus on the enemy behavior. Let's focus on the adding bosses, you know, the things that are really integral to
I have to ban Collector stuff because he's getting really toxic towards other people. It doesn't matter if he's holding his cup in his hand and he talks like whatever big game. Bro, are you that insecure that you get offended by someone holding a coffee cup? What the hell? See you in 5 minutes. 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. And the reason why he's banned, let me boom. The reason why he's banned is because he's constantly
a
complaining.
first-person shooter,
Goodbye.
when in reality, people love the balloons. So
Balloons!
when I say you don't know what feature creep is, what I mean is some things are feature creep, some things
But you have been talking about juice, not feature creep.
aren't. It's up to your audience, it's up to your players to determine what the feature creep actually is. So that's why it's super duper important to test it with an
Fine, I'll
audience.
turn off the music.
Okay, so it's not that feature creep in and of itself is bad advice.
So, he can make this very educational by giving examples of feature creep that are related to his past games or his current game. And why they are feature creep. That would be very insightful and maybe help identify the thought process of why something is considered feature creep compared to something that is not. And in my opinion, like to put it in a general term, feature creep is something that would support the gameplay loop, but not make it more enjoyable. It is a cool idea, but it would not support the gameplay loop in a way where it is. Without it, it would be bad, the game.
To avoid it. It's that it has a bad...
So I'll give you a concrete example. Heroes in Kingdom Rush have been added later to the game. Kingdom Rush only had towers. You could only place towers in the map, and that's it. And heroes have been added in later to support an already existing gameplay loop. Let me see here. Do I have this open? You see Kingdom Rush? Actually, we can open it up on Steam. Yeah. Hübsch. Here we go. And in fact, when you open up Kingdom Rush and you play the first map, you can't even access the heroes because it would be too much to handle for the player. The gameplay loop resulted only in placing 4 different types of towers in predefined location. That's all you would do. And that gameplay loop was already enough to hook people into the game. And then feature creep would have been, before they even release the game and get feedback on the game, to maybe even earn some money from the game, to add in the heroes to test if the heroes would support the gameplay loop or not. Of course they do, but it is not required to ship the game and bring it out to the people so that they can play. And if you play old versions in the browser, you don't have... She like, at first she doesn't close the door, and then she closes the door like, boom! Spam click the sheep. Yeah, that is juice is also feature creep, but added in later. Yeah.
Presumption, which is it assumes you know what feature creep is for your game. In
Which
reality,
you
you probably don't.
No.
You might have a general idea of what your game's about, but in reality, you need to test with an audience, and an audience is going to tell you what they love.
Exactly.
I was talking to Thomas Maller about this. He's the creator of Ori and the Blind Forest. He was talking to me about the balloons. He said, if it's fun, do more of it. Okay? Well, it's really up to you and your audience to determine what's fun.
To figure out what's fun, yeah.
And that will help you determine.
And that's the way that you do that, is you bring out a playable slice of your game, you bring it to the public, they give you feedback on that slice, and then you update that and bring it out again. And you iterate on that constantly. And ways to do that is itch.io. You could even do Steam playtests, have your friends and family or relatives or even people you meet online play to you through Discord, and you can see them actively play the game. You try to be more passive, so don't tell them what they need to do, because if someone is stuck in your game and they don't know what to do, that's bad game design on your part. You want people to get stuck so you know where to fix the game and make it better. So these are some examples of playtesting that you can do, anyone can do that, to get feedback and iterate on the game. That's what you need to do. And that's what you need to do early to also understand what is scope creep and what not. Because you cannot identify scope creep without feedback.
What feature creep actually is.
Because it might be fun for you, but not for the player.
Is for your game. So yes, obviously you want to avoid feature creep, but it's way more important. A better way of putting this is just to say, find out what's fun for your game and do more of that.
And you find it out with
playtests. The only way to find out what's fun is to cook. Okay? That brings me to my next one, which is the GDD. Okay? And we'll talk all about what I mean by cooking. All right? I was listening to this podcast with Brandon Sanderson, and he talked, and Brandon Sanderson is an incredible writer. He wrote a book that I'm reading right now called A Way of Kings. Or The Way of Kings, and it's in the Stormlight archives. Anyway, most of you know this, but anyway, he's a great writer. He talks all about what cooking is when it comes to writing, and we're going to talk all about that. By the way, this video is sponsored by Full-Time Game Dev. check it out below. The link is in the description. The spring sale lasts for just 10 more days.
Isn't that the guy that made the Fox game? Also, like I'm completely on top of him. Let me move myself a bit here. Isn't that the guy that made the, what is that called? Isn't this the guy that made the Fox game, the Orange Fox game?
And you're gonna learn, well, how to make indie games.
I'm not gonna say
From
anything,
your
but you guys
bedroom,
know
and
my
more
opinion on that.
importantly, how to actually secure 6 figures with your demo.
You cannot secure 6 figures. Not really. I don't think you can. Especially not if it's your first game. You can read a book about it, in my opinion, but ultimately the market determines that too. You could make a somewhat reasonable side scroller, but then 6 figures is going to be really difficult to do.
Or how to get a publisher, or how to get funded on Kickstarter. I've done all of this. You're also gonna get 2D Art Pro and 3D Art Pro completely free. So check it out below. See if it's something you're interested in. And hey, you're gonna learn Godot, Unity, Unreal.
Wait, only 100 seats, you have to be fast. Oh, this is FOMO, oh goodness.
Take your pick, whichever engine you
Did
want to
see
learn.
that. True.
Take your pick. And the best part is,
Goodness.
I've got students, man, this is so cool.
Man,
Students
I'm
who have gone
glowing.
full time with the help of this course, including Chris Stair, who got published, Bart Mamser, who got 100K from his first big game.
Bart Mamser. Okay, let's okay, fact check here, okay? Bart Mamser. Bart Mamser. Game. I don't think that's the guy. Bart Mamser? Bart Mamser. Okay. Mamser. This one, bartmamser.com, Powerlast. Is that a... okay, let's see. On Steam? Powerlast on Steam. I don't think he secured that much, bro. 60 positive reviews, bro. 20,000 wish lists. I like that map. You know what this reminds me of? Sacred. I love that game. Incredible, awesome. I want to play it now. Goddamn. Ooh, that looks good. Oh man, that looks great. Actually, the first screenshot kind of sucked. This one kind of is like, I don't really like the icons, but that one looked... Oh, that one is... okay, it's a bit cheap here. But... Okay, what's the issue with the game? 70%? What do people not like? So not that many players. He did secure 6 figures, got paid by the guy selling the course. Okay. Not currently worth $20. I wish I paid more attention to the negative reviews before buying this one. They all say the same things. If you think about it, if you think a bit of procedure generation on top of a watered down story mode is innovative, you put your $20 towards Grim Dawn and multiple roguelikes that have deeper mechanics, better storyline than this. Follow this one and add it to your wish list instead. At least buy it on a sale if you want alpha tests. Okay, this was an impulse to buy. You're a fan of PoE Diablo, yeah? I would not recommend this. The quality of the product is not where the price is. It needs a lot of work before it's done, especially the UI is atrocious. Yeah, I saw the screenshots of the UI, not that great. Gameplay-wise, it holds up. Oh, it's flashy, colorful, and responsive. That's good. Unfortunately, the UI really does take me out of the... Yeah, it does. I noticed that immediately. The color scheme is quite confusing as well. I was playing with a controller. Okay, the game needs to stay in the oven a lot longer. I mean, at least he shipped out, so that's really good. How long has the game been out for? On Steam, sorry. There's usually you can track this, right? I mean, it's been earning quite a couple of bucks on this game, but I don't think that's 6 figures. Heavily doubt. Oh, wow. That's been 3 years. So he spent 2 years making the game, and then he released it, and then he got a lot of wish lists. God damn. Grim Dawn is fun, I would assume. Okay.
And went full time. Also, Everflux Games.
Yeah, we could check all of them, but whatever.
Pretty cool, right? So check out the reviews below, see if it's something you're interested in. And yeah, 10 days left. I believe there's less than 90 seats available, and these will sell out.
Did he create any other games? Well, he was specifically talking about that one, but I don't know. No, that's his only game. So I don't know how he's earned 6 figures with this. I wanna see the balance sheet on that one, bro.
So check it out below. See if
I
it's something you're
pressed out.
interested in. Okay, so let's talk about cooking and as it pertains to the GDD. Okay, so the advice that I'm arguing with is
Secured 6 figures. So what you're talking about is that he got a publisher and that helped him earn 6 figures.
stick to your GDD.
In what currency?
A
Stick
cook
to your
is
game
someone
design
like
document.
me when it comes to baking who can follow a recipe. And if I follow the wet
Oh,
recipe,
I can see that. Okay, I'm not gonna say.
usually I'll get what I'm trying to make. And it usually tastes something like what I'm trying to make. The problem is, if something goes wrong, I have no idea why it went wrong and what I could have done to change it. A chef is someone who can take the various styles of baking that different people use and apply them to their own process and create new things, not from a
This guy is just acting on emotion, man. I don't want to be too negative, but this is just emotional talk. Like, there's nothing tangible or specific about this. Sorry if that, pisses some people off, but that's just my honest opinion.
recipe.
He's talking about cooking and then passion.
But that use the knowledge of previous recipes to create masterful new
Great.
works.
Awesome.
I want you to be a chef when
Yes.
it comes to writing.
The problem with the GDD is that it assumes you know the ingredients of your game. It assumes that you know exactly how to create your game, as if it was like a prefab house that you're building, right? Just follow the instructions and build the house, right?
I don't think you can make a game design document for your first game. Sorry, you might be able to write down a feature list, but you have never made a game, so how can you know what features you want? That's essentially what he's trying to say.
GDD becomes more and more and more valuable, I would say, the bigger your team gets and the more
No. The more experience you have.
experience you have
Yeah.
as a game dev. Like, if
I
you're
don't think it's related to the team.
a veteran with a
Size.
big team, using a GDD makes sense.
For example, I'll give you an example. Why do I say that? We have somewhat of a big team in this game right here, Deep Rock Galactic Survivors game. You probably have heard about this game, quite big game on Steam, 35,000 reviews. That's an actual big game. And these guys, you know how they do their tasks and stuff to do? They have a to-do list in, for example, Notepad. That's what they do. So that's their game design document. They sometimes do have talks about important features, but that's essentially what they do. They do ask Rames, shut up. 5 minutes. I'm not arguing.
Why? Because, well, a GDD is really good to reference, right? And it's also for your whole team. And a game design document is something that you actually know how to craft.
I just don't agree, because you just talk to the person what he's doing. You don't need to look at a GDD to figure out what everyone is doing, because how do you even manage that? Like, in a team, when you're working in a team, what you need to know is, what is everyone working on? What should I be working on?
As a veteran, because you've done it a million times. You've made a certain kind of game a million times, so you know exactly what that game needs. And so
I understand. GDC? Game design, GDC is about, yes, I agree with you, but it doesn't have to be a traditional GDC. It can be just a list of things that you need to do in order to complete the game and bring it out to the public. Like a set list of things maybe applied with weights that are more important over others.
put it out and you lay out the ingredients. Well, as an indie game dev with a small team.
Yeah, but we're talking about indie games, AK Elements. I understand that it doesn't work for some company like Blizzard. Totally agree with you. But we're not talking about that. Like, I do not even care about AAA. Like, they can go and do their own thing. Doesn't matter. We're talking about the small guys here. Like the 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, maybe 10 at most. That's already quite big.
I would much rather you cook and experiment with the ingredients and throw some salt here and throw in some jalapenos there and try it out. Say, oh, that doesn't taste good. Then throw in some chili, right? Throw in some mustard. I don't know. Throw in all these different ingredients. Test it out and try it out. And you'll find out that what you planned in your GDD, the ingredients you put in your GDD, we're completely off, right?
Yes, and that happens because you have no experience. And that's why your first game usually is bad, because you do exactly that. You can't write down what you want because you don't know. You test out different things, they don't work. And then you bring it out to the public and people tell you your game sucks. So, yes, that's what happens. That's normal.
And so it's kind of similar to feature creep, right? You don't really know what's fun or good with your game until you actually start cooking, start playing with the ingredients and seeing what.
Which is why I advocate for just copying an entire game as your first game. If you want to make a commercial game, I would just literally now, after having done this for 4 years almost, I would take, like, if I wanted to earn money, I would take a popular game genre. This time it would be crafty, buildy stuff, and then apply that genre to a simple game idea and then literally copy that. Like, think about Islanders, think about Thronefall, in that direction. Even Nordhold, the game, tower defense game, where it's all about crafting and building your own town and then defending that town. Very simplistic, economy-based game. Even The King is Watching is almost the same idea as well. You build your own town, you farm your resources, and then you defend, and you don't really actually defend per se. You just have your defenses, they spawn automatically, and that's it. And I would literally copy it 1-to-1 and call it differently.
Was valid in your GDD and what wasn't valid. So
yeah, and experience. Yeah, so like there's multiple ways to do this, but if you wanted to earn money, that's what I would do. If you wanted to learn as much as possible, then just try to make your own game and fail, because you will learn much more that way, because you will understand what not to do and why not to do certain things. Yes. But it also takes longer and you earn no money. Mostly no money.
Do you throw away a GDD entirely? No. In fact, in my courses I teach, fill out your GDD. But the GDD is by no means your constitution. It's by no means scriptural, right? Or infallible. It's just sort of a starting point. It's like an outline. And you need to be okay with completely wrecking your GDD. It's hard to say, GDD, or completely overhauling your GDD. Right?
But then why write it? Like, I just don't see why you should write it then.
So do a GDD,
at
but
least in the
just
beginning.
be okay with completely redoing it over and over again until you just don't use it anymore, right? Because at the end of the day, especially as a new indie, with a small team, it's really about experimentation, right? Now, does this mean that I think that you shouldn't have a hook and that you shouldn't have a log line and that you shouldn't have a game loop that's clearly defined and that you should have a focal point for your project? No, of course you need to do your very, very best to have that. But the problem is that unless you've made like 4 or 5 games, you really don't know. You really don't know.
But you're talking about, so you're a designer, like you're talking about 90% of indie game developers start out alone, man. Like, I understand that there are cases where you build a team and maybe you have I don't know what a designer would be. That is just an artist, in my opinion. But a designer, like, is that the game designer and you are the engine programmer or the technical programmer, and then you have an artist? There are a lot of indie devs, team size 3 to 5. Guys, how many in chat are in a team, and how many of you are alone? Type if you're alone, type alone. Type team if you're in a team. And the team would be at most 2 people. So you either have a coder and an artist. That's mostly it, right? Alone, yeah, alone. Like 90% of people are alone. They start out alone because you know no one. But if you have 3, then you have 3, man. Then you're in a team. A 2-person team is also a team. See, like, most people are alone, man. I'm not saying that there are no teams. I'm saying that most people are alone. I'm alone too. And that's just how people start.
If any of that stuff is any good. So why would I want you to lock yourself into something that's not good? Instead, cook, experiment, play, have fun, learn what's fun. Playtesting is, by the way, the answer to 1 and 2.
I'm not alone. I have Cakez as my game designer. I watch his stream every day and absorb his wisdom. Good stuff, man. Good. True. You're absorbing the best wisdom here. 100%.
We'll get to number 3 in a sec, but 1 and 2.
Is it alone if you sometimes ask friend for help? Yeah, you are alone because you're the one person making it. And if you ask a friend for help, they help you with that specific task, but you don't have to communicate the entire project to them. You just tell them to do something, they do it, and then you move on. I don't really see that as a team. It's like a contractor where you give them specifics to do. You don't need to share the entire project with them.
The real solution is not to just completely throw out a GDD or completely ignore the idea of feature creep. The answer is test.
No, writing a GDD is good, but you can only write one if you have experience. And how do you gain experience? Well, by just making mistakes. So right now, I can tell you that when I make a small new game, I would first write down exactly what I want from the new game in a list, and then I would follow that list meticulously until I would get to a point where I couldn't implement a certain feature because I didn't foresee it colliding with something else. But I would always write down a set list of functions to do or things to do because that will just make the development faster and I can stick to a plan. But I can do that now after years of not doing that and testing out different things that didn't work and figuring out why they didn't work. Understanding why it is good to write down certain features, but I can only identify core features if I make that mistake, if I earn that experience. And so you can only really earn that experience by going and doing feature creep. And so that's just, it's the same thing. You can tell someone to do something, but they won't be able to do it unless they make the mistakes themselves. And so that's what's called learning. And learning takes time. So you can't just go and watch the best game designer, game developer out there do the same things they do from day one. That's not how it works.
Not you, your friends, family. By the way, only test with friends and family who are number 1, honest, and number 2, they actually want you to succeed. If they're not honest or they want you to fail, and by the way, there's plenty.
The thing is, Evans, you can change the game design document as you go, but you don't know how to change it to what to change it to unless you have gone through iterations of feedback. And that requires you to build a gameplay loop, bring it out to the public, stick with the game idea, even if no one plays it, even if everyone hates it, change the game. Then do that again and again and again until you get a feeling for what you need and what you want. And then a game design document starts to make sense. In the beginning, you can write down stuff, but you will quickly realize that what you've written down doesn't make any sense and you will discard 80% of it or 90% of it. And then what do? You are left with empty space and you don't know what to do. Do I implement the skill tree or do I implement a simple power-up system where you can only go one way or the other, like in King Rush? You don't know these things. And so all you're left to do with is, oh, I'm going to try to implement feature A over feature B because those are 2 solutions. And then you implement feature A, and what now? What you can do when you have implemented feature A is implement another feature on top of that feature that builds on top. But you are then, at some point, when you bring out the game to the public, you realize that the feature you implemented here doesn't make any sense. And you're discarding everything that you implemented in that branch, so to say, and you go back to square one. That is so bad, and it can lead to quick burnout. And so it's really difficult to identify these different things unless you have made that mistake before. And you can only make that mistake when you try out these things, and that takes time.
If family
so
members,
I give up. Yeah, people can give up at that point. Yes.
And friends who want you to fail, you probably know who they are. They probably popped in your mind. They probably live rent free in your head too.
No, I do understand what a GDD is for, but I'm saying that it doesn't make any sense to write it when you have no experience.
Ignore those people. But if they love you, they want you to succeed and they're honest, get them to playtest, but more importantly, find actual people that you don't know online who like your genre of game and test it with them. I swear to you, it sounds scary and it sounds like...
Also, what I don't like about GDD is the fact that when you write one, it is oftentimes people spend too much time on it, especially when they're just starting out, because they try to make it perfect and they try to think about everything you can think about. And then you discard like 80% of it when you are halfway through implementing feature A, feature B. And then you're like, oh shit, I wasted all of that time. Instead of just going in, doing something, and then getting feedback immediately. Again, I understand that the GDD is important, but not as your first project. I wouldn't do it.
I'll do that later. You always sort of kick that can down the road. That is...
Yeah. So that's what I did most of my time, and it helped out a lot, but I also wasted a lot of time because I was implementing features that didn't make any sense, yes.
Instrumental to your project. You need to find those people ASAP and start testing with them frequently, because they will tell you the definition of feature creep for your game. And they will tell you what in your GDD is working, okay? The last one. This is very similar to 1 and 2. The last one is you need to avoid the sunk cost fallacy.
No.
I've heard game devs talk about this. I've heard them use the phrase sunk cost fallacy a lot. I've done it. I've said it too in a different way. I've said you can't put lipstick on a pig, right? The sunk cost fallacy is something like, just because you've dug a really deep pit doesn't mean you need to keep digging and finish the pit, right? Just because you've put a ton of money and effort into this project doesn't mean that you should keep doing it and finish it.
Yeah.
If it sucks, and you need to quit while you're ahead, right? Quit while you're ahead. That's another phrase. This doesn't work for me. I just can't wrap my head around this because, okay, I said this during a live stream the other day. I think it was 2 days ago. No, it was yesterday. I said the difference between an amazing game and a really bad game could be 2 months of work. And look, I get it. It sucks because some of you might have a really bad game on your hands and it will never be better. No matter how hard you try.
He's agreeing with you, not sure. Yeah, I think he's agreeing with me. His point, I'm going to make my point. I'm just going to let him finish.
How many hours you put into that project, how many days and years, it's always going to suck. The problem is you don't know. You don't know. It's kind of like getting lost in the woods and hoping that around the corner is the road. For example, I'll come back to my game, Twisted Tower.
Yeah.
The Twisted Tower demo was trash, okay? The first chapter of that game was trash in May.
Was it trash? Twisted Tower? Twisted Tower demo. Demo SteamDB. Let's see, Twisted Tower demo, 1 in app, charts, 179 with his pull. Yeah, I would say though, so it's not that many, and then it flattened out immediately. So that's his demo, right? That's the one demo he talks about. That's what he means. 1,000 reviews. See, that's what I mean. 1,000 reviews, but only 3 people playing on a 24-hour basis. Look at The King is Watching. Steam Demo DB. This is 1,000 reviews and 76 in app. That is the difference between a good game and somewhat of a bad game. But I'm not going to say bad game, but let's say this game does not have a lot of replayability. Now, it could be because the story is over, you don't want to replay the story. This game is more replayable, different genres, stuff like that, true. But still, even story games can have a lot of replayability and therefore keep a higher player base interested in your game. And on top of that, this number isn't that great. Why? because he has a YouTube channel with 400,000 subscribers. He's getting a lot of views on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. There's so much advertisement going in on his game that this should be higher, but it's not. And so that shows you that there's definitely something wrong with this game, even if it's a story game. He puts the link in the description, 100%. No, he's not. Okay, he's stupid. Yes, why don't you do that? Okay, so that I do not understand. We had this discussion before. Whatever. Yeah. King is watching as replayability, yeah.
May of 2024. And I had it play tested at 3D Realms with the QA team. I had higher ups at 3D Realms play it. I had some of my Twitter followers play it.
Yeah.
And meh, people didn't get it. They didn't know what it meant, what the story was, what the theme. With immersive sims, you want it to mean
what do you mean? This is Bioshock. Of course you know what it is.
right?
Even I know that, and I play barely any games.
To have some sort of poetic meaning. Nah, they didn't get it. The combat was meh. Graphics, meh. They didn't understand the setting.
I like the graphics, but I guess he's talking
They
about
just didn't get it. So in my head, I was like, oh my goodness. Sunk cost fallacy. Why would I finish this game? Why?
You're looking at the new version, yeah, I know, yeah.
I keep moving forward with this game. Let's quit while we're ahead. Or again, why put lipstick on a pig?
Well, if you have invested 2 years, you better finish it. If you have invested 2 months, you just scrap it to make a new game. That's how I see it.
How?
Give me a second, guys. Just a second. Yep. Hello, Farmer. Hope you're doing good, man. Good morning. That's the guy that made the tower defense game, by the way. We talked about earlier. Let's continue here. I'm gonna let him finish. I have my point, but maybe he comes to that point too. So, like I said, 2 months, scrap the idea, make a new game. Who cares? 2 years, you better finish your project, man. It doesn't matter, finish it. That's how I see it. Even if you have to cut corners, you bring it out. And I'll tell you guys why.
However, out of sort of financial necessity and contracted or like legal necessity, I kept moving forward.
Yeah, for him it's different. But let's say you are an indie developer. Abandon if it's not worth it. No, what I'm saying, Super Cool, is finish the game. You have a Steam page. Let's say you have, right? Most people will have one at that point after 2 years of making a game. You have a Steam page. Maybe you even have an itch page. You even have a follower base. You have feedback. If you have gone all that, if you have gone that route, if you have gone that far, at least push the release button and bring it out. Because I'll explain in a second. For him, it's different because he has contractual obligations. Most indie developers don't have this. So you are free to stop. But I can tell you why it's so important to finish it.
Kept finishing the game. And lo and behold, all it took was 2 months of work to make it to go from horrible to really awesome.
3 players, man. Like, really awesome. Like, okay.
Like, I think it has 1,000 reviews right now on Steam, the demo.
But that's your YouTube video, bro. YouTube videos.
And very positive. And truth is that a ton of those negative reviews are actually just because of the optimization of the game, the frame rate. My tummy's rumbling.
Fake reviews.
So look, it was 2 months of just polish, and all of a sudden it became amazing. The same happened with Ken Levine. I was talking to Ken Levine about this with Bioshock. He said 2 months prior to launch, nobody understood the game. Nobody got it. They didn't like it. Don't put lipstick on a pig. Quit while you're ahead. No, what the team did is they just addressed those issues, and bang, you have one of the best games ever made.
Sorry, what was he talking about?
Pig. Quit while you're ahead. No, what the team did. Wait. 2 months of just polish, and all of a sudden it became amazing. The same happened with Ken Levine. I was talking to Ken Levine about this with BioShock. He said 2 months prior to launch, nobody understood the game. Nobody got it. They didn't like it. Don't put lipstick on a pig. Quit while you're ahead. No, what the team did is they just addressed those issues, and bang, you have one of the best games ever made. The sunk cost
So they worked to make the game better, and the game became better. Yeah.
fallacy. It can be used. This sort of way of thinking can be used for something that has a.
I'm not
bit
sure you
more of
understand what sunk cost fallacy is. Yeah, I know. This isn't sunk cost fallacy, it's quality commitment. Sunk cost fallacy is when you know you're in a losing fight, but you're double down and head on a bad strategy because you fear going back to quality. Yeah, exactly. But I'll finish. Let him finish.
business model. You know? Like selling, I don't know, kitchen equipment for restaurants, or
What is he talking
selling
about?
cars, or building houses. You know, these are things that you can actually quantify and understand. Hey, we are actually putting money into something that will not be profitable. With an art form like a game, it's so much harder to just determine, hey, sunk cost fallacy. It's not that easy.
No, it is easy. It is that easy. Sorry, but it is. Now, I can't really... I guess I'll need to use my own game, but I have other examples. I'll give an example of my game, okay? I have other games, but it would be toxic, I feel like. So I need to use my game. I need to use my game because otherwise it just doesn't... Yeah, I feel like it would be toxic. So this right here, over multiple months, this is what you abandon. You have... And that's what I mean by do not stop until you get to that point. Meaning, so he's talking about... I don't know if the game will be better. I don't know if what I will work on will make the game better. I don't know what the public will think. No, my point is you have a game and you're working to a certain point, and everyone that starts making a game can get to a point where you can start, you can fight or can do something, you can win or you can lose, and then you repeat that. Everyone can do that. And if you do that, you have that finished. Maybe it's buggy, maybe it has some other issues, maybe the graphics look terrible. You have what we call a gameplay loop. You start the game, you engage in the gameplay loop, and you can either win or lose, and then you can repeat, like these 5 things. If that is in your game, then you should always release it, whether that be on itch, on Steam. If you want to pay $100, that's a lot of money, but it's good traction to the game and gives you an actual real-life experience of how your game would perform. Then I would advise everyone to always release it. Why? Because the public will tell you if it's worth working on your game or not. So for example, a game like this over multiple ones where you have empty dots, like let's zoom in a bit at that point here. A game where you have these empty spots and no one is playing the game, that is a bad and dead game, and most likely updates for years will not fix it. And when you are in this situation, you know that you need to abandon the game. Because if you keep working on it, the amount of time needed to make that, turn that into a playable game is too much. And that is sunk cost fallacy. You would sink way too much time into this project. Why am I working on my game still? I made that mistake because now I made that mistake and now I know. That's why I'm talking about it. And so I have done that mistake. That's the point. So why did I continue to work on my game? Because it was a mistake. I should have started a new game. Because after 2 years, I did see success in a way on my game. But the game changed drastically. It's no longer the same game. It is a new game. Eh? Wait, store page? Welcome to Steam. Tangy TD. Oh, it doesn't have a demo page. Let's see, Tangy TD. Steam, there we go. And it does look even more different now. Let's be real, Cakez. You kind of started a new game. I did start a new game, yeah. For 2 years, I didn't do a single update on this game. And kind of made a new game, yes. And so that's why I'm saying, why should you finish your game always? Because you need the public feedback. You also need to go the route from, I start a game, I implement a gameplay loop, I get feedback on the game, I bring it out to the public. If you stop midway through, the next time you get to that point, it's not gonna get easier to get past that point. There will always be points in the development of your game where you are stuck and you think, maybe I should quit and make a new game. But the more you repeat the process of, I'm gonna quit here, I'm gonna quit here, you're not actually pushing forward to new difficulties. You are stuck at that difficulty level, and the next time you get to it, it might be even more difficult. Or it might be a little bit easier, but then shortly after you get stuck again. And maybe so you're just learning the first part of development, but not the last part, which is the hardest part. So that's why I'm saying you should always release your game in a reasonable amount of time, because that's where you learn the most.
So what's the end solution?
Which is why I disagree with quitting, because it can also reinforce a negative idea of, oh, I quit. I'm a quitter.
Solution here. The solution to all three of these pieces of bad game dev advice. It's not that you just completely ignore them. It's that we need to, at the very beginning, before we even hear this advice, we need to understand two things. Number one.
And that allows you also to make better decisions when writing your game design document or when you're writing your list of things to do for your next project.
One, this is an art form. Art forms are not easily measured. They're not, art forms cannot be easily measured. The metrics are difficult. It's very, very, very subjective. Number two, you don't know what you have until you test it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Understanding what your game is, what makes it fun, what makes it valuable. That's just not something that you, as the developer, can fully grasp. Your audience actually knows it better than you, to some degree. Again, another catch-22, or I guess it would be a what do you call it? Two opposing ideas. A paradox. It's a paradox. It's like, you know your game better than your audience, but your audience also knows your game better than you do. You need to work together. You got to work together to figure out what makes it actually fun. To determine.
Child crying, yeah, I just don't understand, man. ich kann jetzt noch pumpen. Ja, vielleicht muss ich ein bisschen raus. Okay. Sorry about this, my brothers. There we go. I'm back. Sorry about this, guys.
What is actually feature creep for your game and what is actually, well, no, I do need to put more balloons in this game. I need to put more confetti in this game and more silly stuff because apparently people like it and I didn't know that. Number 2, when you know your audience, you can better determine.
Hey man, I don't want to be toxic, but the entire video is just playtest your game. I don't hate him, you know, but listen, I'm totally indifferent, but that's literally just the entire message. That's all. Playtest your game, man. That's what it is.
You don't know what you have until you playtest. Playtest is the #1 important thing. Hello, Mr. Ramis. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, what's your opinion on playtesting?
What's actually working in your GDD and sort of lock it in. When you know your audience and what they think about your game, you can determine whether you're actually putting lipstick on a pig or...
When you try to make one sentence in a 4-page document. Hey, Mr. Codrad Games. Yeah, that's another game developer, you guys. Hey, guys, check out Rogue Blight. Steam. That game, my brothers, actually has a Steam page too. This guy is quite successful with his game, man. Look at him. Big Giga Chat developer working and making a game, you guys. Here we go. Look at this demo. See that demo? Here we go. Look at this. Kind of comparable. 66. Blub, 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 blub. Constant flood of players as well. Rogue Blight will be massive. Yeah, Asmongold played the game. If he gets lucky, Asmongold will play the game on release. Yeah, and then, bro, you're printing money at that point. 100%, man. I wish you good luck, bro. I wouldn't say so sexual, but it doesn't look terrible. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible.
Beautiful hot model, and you didn't know it, right? Your audience is going to tell you that. So, there you go. Those are
playtest your game.
My 3 things. 3 pieces of advice that I call the sneaky 3.
3 pieces fused into one. Playtesting.
Hope that helps. Hey, yes. Remember, check out Full-Time Game Dev. Today's sponsor of
yes,
our
of
video.
course.
40% off. You're gonna get 2D and 3D art pro
40% off.
free.
Only 100 seats available.
And you're also gonna learn Godot, Unity, and Unreal. Take your pick, whichever engine you want to learn. You'll learn in this course.
I love this. Yeah.
40% off.
Spring sale ends in 10 days, guys. There it is. 4 more.
10 days left. I think there's 90 or some seats left available. Check out the reviews in the link in the description to see if it's something you're interested in.
No, white
and I'll
screens.
see you on the private Discord server.
See you later.
Okay, hope that was helpful, guys.
I appreciate
Love
the video,
ya.
bro.
Cheers.
Anyways, guys, I get that some people don't like him, but I still like his videos. Did I paste something wrong? So here, there you go, guys. That is the video. If you want to support him, give it a like. Watch the video at 1% volume in another tab. Watch it till full, till the end. Back to coding. Yeah, now we go back to coding. Yes, exactly. Rogue Blight. Yeah, there we go. Twisted Tower. The King is watching. That's an amazing game, you guys. This one's gonna farm money when it's out. 100%. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic Survival Stats. I wanna beat that game. Oh, Tangy TD. I need to update the screenshots. Will do soon. Sick looking game. True, my man. That guy has 422,000 subs, and you say 80 players at a demo release is successful? No, you are wrong. You're misconstruing something. This is Twisted Tower. That's his demo. That is 179 players on 400,000 subscribers, which I said earlier, I don't think that's good at all. I think that's too little players. This is Rogue Blight from a person who is also streaming sometimes. He's working full time. That doesn't have much of a YouTube presence, which is successful. Cakez is 200 viewers and 3 players. I don't have a demo version out at all. Not yours, the DRG one? Ah, I see. The DRG one. Yeah, yeah. Mr. Ramos. I actually signed up for full-time dev courses. I would say it's not bad, because if you are a brand new game developer, otherwise I would skip it. Like, my opinion on these things is just, instead of reading, just do something and gain experience practically. But obviously you do need to have some knowledge as well. Okay. Okay, I get it. Bro, never pay for game dev courses. The literally most accessible career ever. Not easy, but accessible. Yeah, I agree. Let's go for the percent off. I hate him. He's too handsome. Yeah. Cakez, you are in Interpol's list. What? No need to pay for anything, everything is free online. Yeah, that's how I see it too. There is some information that you definitely need though as a game developer. You need to know how Steam works, how the Steam algorithm works especially. And you do need to have some basic knowledge, and you need to learn that somehow on how to put out playtests and get people to play your game and playtest that for you. You need some knowledge like that for sure. And obviously you also need to fail a bunch of times to understand what not to do. The best course of all time is Chris Zaworski on Steam pages, and it's free. To be honest, I think his courses focus too much on numbers rather than on timings. And like like his courses are purely the marketing side of things and never actually look at the development side of things. So for example, and I disagree with that a lot, the Terminus Zombies, this game and the SteamDB, this game came out to almost no players at all for years. And his takeaway was, and this was early access until he released, his takeaway was that he should have farmed the numbers first, aka 7,000 reviews, put in an English translation first, and basically make the game to this point before he released the game. But he's completely ignoring the fact that in order to get to this point, he had to release the game to actually get proper feedback and money to fund the game too. They're completely ignoring that fact. So I think he's focusing a little too much on the numbers and the marketing. And development is an active process. And if you don't have funding or money or feedback, you are not going anywhere. And unfortunately, we are not living in a perfect world. Exactly, Mr. Conrad. So you can't actually pull off these numbers sometimes without doing... In my opinion, this guy did everything right. He saw traction to the game, he kept working on it, he was listening to player feedback, and slowly over the years managed to incorporate that feedback and up the numbers for his game. That's why he is successful. He would not have been successful if he released the game on 2024 without this period in before this. Because this would have never happened. He would have never had the amount of feedback that he had gotten from releasing the game early into early access. And he would have maybe even quit. And then we would not have this game today. That's how I see it. What do you think about Casey Muratori's thing? I don't know. Like that's not really game development related. Table of contents. Catch live broadcasts. I don't know. Q&A. The micro group. I don't know. What's this supposed to be? That doesn't look like game development, man. if you're talking about programming advice from Casey Muratori and Jonathan Blow, I think these are two extremes, and the other extreme is the C++ modern programming camp. And in my opinion, you just choose in between those camps. I think going to either extreme is a little bit too dangerous. You don't want to code everything yourself, but you also don't want to rely only on libraries to get you going. Like in between. It always depends what works for you, but yeah, that's what works for me. No, you're wrong. You're bringing up a totally unrelated task. 30 minutes. Shut up. This guy's trying to compare OOP with playtesting. Playtesting is the most important thing in games. What is this guy talking about? Never release an actual game and tries to tell me what to do. Goodness. Sure, bro. Computer Enhanced is about performance, aware programming, good course. Oh yeah, sure. Like, but I just don't think that helps you at all make games. What helps you make games is to make a game. So, and yeah, you're gonna have terrible performance if you make your game for the first time, but who cares? You learn a valuable lesson.
Collector's alt account just
I've been in
joined.
Computer Enhanced for a while, it's really cool. I recommend if you're going to get deep dive into programming. Yeah, but it's not gonna help you make games.
Keep your functions shorter than 5 lines.
Ja, das wäre super.
These fucking softwares!
Object-oriented playtesting cakes. True.
Luli
And woohoo, thank you very much for following, man.
Speaking, esport, online, esarcino, twic equals scam,
I'm cooking right now and listen to the stream. Can we stop the backshading and crack on with coding?
You will be stronger. Up in your tab every evening and never turn it off. Add
I like Cakez today.
Throw it in the forest.
He's
and
based.
the plastic. The moony will
Super cool.
own. I'm destroying the world. You can't he help me by doing these.
Did you earlier mean that you farm a demo page and release later, Cakez? Don't like Cakez? Collector did make a game, you played it, you laughed a lot too. Yeah, but his game is not commercially viable. It's a community fun project, he did a good job, really good job. But we're talking about selling games.
Am I so out of touch?
No.
Coding Ruo just subscribed.
As your job. Sure, I can make a game in one day too and then give it to you guys. Does that make it commercially viable? No. Most likely not. And that's what we're talking about here. I don't know about you guys, but I would love to feed my family by making games and not having to bend myself over, lube up my asshole, and then let someone fuck me in the ass while they, you know, make me do work I don't want to actually do. So yeah, anyway, sorry for the graphic. That's essentially what it is, okay? So yes. Let's work on the game, guys. We were bound to balance. Mr. Supoku, can you stop adding in pig emotes and then calling them cakes, okay? That's not me. So... Did you just describe your side job? It's not that bad, but it's something I just don't really want to do. And I'm struggling a lot with it, man. It is draining me a lot of my energy to work on my game. I try so hard to work like a normal, I just cannot. I'm pushing through and I won't quit, but it is draining as hell, man. Especially when nothing works. I hate it so much. Bro. Anyways, it is such a, what is it called? Privilege to be able to make games, in my opinion. Which is why I want to do it. No, like, you can change it back to the cake, but stop. Don't make it a pig. My day job drains my energy for game dev too, yeah. So I think the only really solution, if that happens to you, is to wake up early and do game development first. Ooh, if your wife's pregnant, congratulations, Coach Rod Games. Big W's in chat for Mr. Contract Games. His wife is pregnant. Supaku, can you please remove the Cakez pig emote? Make a game / day probably more viable than solo deving one project for 5 years. Difficult to say. Because you still learn different things by working on different tasks. Congrats, yeah, congrats, man. Can't delay the baby, gotta finish the game before it arrives. Kinda? Or you're gonna have a hard time making the... Well, you do have 2 month leave, right? Okay. You do have 2 months where you basically have no work at all because they give... Is that what you have in your country too? We have that in Germany. I can take off 2 months from work to take care of the baby. And when you do that, you could even work on your game at that time. In UK, it's 2 weeks? Man, UK is just a shitty place, bro. What the hell? 2 weeks? What is this country? They suck. What? Bruh. That's insane. Okay, we got good stuff here. Let's see. Do I have skills enabled already? Yeah, we do. Yeah, great. Let's extend that to be unpaid when already your wife is not working. Such a shitty country, man. Holy. Why do people put up with this? In Germany, we get 2 months. That's insane. 2 weeks? It's like a quarter of what we get in Germany. 1 year paid, really? Wow, in Scandinavia? Good to know. The secret for full-time game dev is to farm babies. Okay. Cakez. They call me 007. 7 years of work. 0. Okay, you guys. Just wait. Just wait. Okay. The secret to full-time game dev is to retire fast and have enough money to pay your bills. I think that's what many people do, yeah. You're effectively farming a lot of money while in your normal job, and if you find a way to quit your job and have enough funding to last you for years, then most people do that. This rat is too slow. Silver rat. This needs to be much faster. 30. It's gotta be like 48 at least. Cakez, what are you doing for work next to streaming? I work as like a problem solver for a company. Mostly anything that comes up there. And the problem is that there's almost no documentation on shit. So I just have to figure it out all myself, man. And it sucks, because it's really difficult without documentation. Think about the worst program you've ever seen. Try to install that yourself and fix it yourself. Problem solver sounds like a hitman. Every day, mostly every day, 2 days, 2 hours a day, but sometimes I don't manage to do 2 hours, so I'm doing it on a weekend or later in a day. I think the problem is that I start my day off with working for them, and then I'm tired when I get to the stream, because it's mentally draining too. Has work been? No, it's been worse, actually. It's getting worse. Finally done watching the initial stream where you talked about my game Cakez. Thanks for the feedback. I got it from chat. And you and TCAP's Discord. I'm reworking the input system entirely. Try to make it a bit more less fuck-upable, if that makes sense. Yeah, that would be a big part already. And yeah, I wish you good luck, man, farmer. Hopefully it works out for you, bro. What the hell was that? Huh? I didn't really get a good item here, but okay. Why is this guy Cakez? But does look? That's not me. Are you coding something? At least I don't understand, Cakez. Are you coding on something? At least I don't understand, Cakez. What I'm doing right now is balancing my first level. To get to the first 5 minutes of fun. I'm just playing it passively while talking. There's no need right now for me to code anything in the game, because I'm coding a bit. I'm changing values right now. Not your game at your job. Yeah, I do code, yes. Like there are bugs in the programs that I need to code, fix to code, right? I code to fix or whatever. Yes. Yes and no, it always depends, right? Sometimes it's a data issue, other times it's a coding issue. It's different types of issues. You need to playtest. It's the most important thing, yes. People say your first 4 hours of work are the best. Yeah, I'm way past that. So I'm already drained. So, yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. So I guess we'll just... I'm gonna focus on this. Reset game. Let's do this from the very beginning. So first we put one guy here. And then it tells me to use the shop. Man, I get so much money on this. Look how much money I got. This guy has 2 items. What the hell? He's OP. I love the shop, you know, guys. I really do. It's been one of the best ideas ever. Let's see, 120. Why is there a lock icon for each item in the shop? When you reroll the items, it will keep those in the shop. So you can lock these. Okay, we right click this guy. Ah, that's only trash, but I guess we can get it. Give him this shield. Now he has... Look how many stats he already has. That's crazy. Having a job in gamedev is not exactly guaranteed to make you want to continue working on a game when you get home. Yeah, no, because like what I see happening is that this... When you have a job that is mentally taxing and you get home and you need to continue to think, oftentimes you are too drained. Yeah, and let's say you are making a game as your job. When you get home, oftentimes you want to relax and cool down from that first before you're doing something. And so my solution to this was always to start the day off with the game. So I would wake up at 4, work on the game and then go to work. And then when my performance at work is not 100%, who cares? I'm not gonna get fired anyways. At least for me, that was my situation. I was quite secure there. So they would not have fired me if I was, let's say, 20% slower or 30% slower. Didn't really matter. So I could invest the time and energy first, then get a break by going to the gym and then go to work and have still enough performance to do the day job. And yeah, that's what worked for me as well. And I think I need to go back to that when it comes to working on the game. Because right now it's inverted. I work on the work first and then on the game. And when I get to the game, I'm already drained and the performance and energy is lower than if I were to work on it first. But I'll have to see how I do that, because my streaming schedule is kind of nice right now. Like, okay, if I'm on time, but I like the time slot I'm in, and I don't want to stream earlier, because usually that leads to issues. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put this guy on. We get another cape. We also have a bow, so I can place this guy here. Give him split arrow. Then you get split arrow when you have enough money. It's doing 40 damage to the goblins. That means they have a little bit of armor. Round 6 out of 7. That's looking good so far. My job is super mentally taxing, but usually I do simple tasks after the job. More complex tasks on the weekend. For your game, you say? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. It's normal that you don't have energy all day. Like, it is normal to have ups and downs, of course. Guys, we can get this and then put this. Oh, actually, I already had this here. Maybe we should sell some items? Streaming and developing at the same time? That's fine by me. Like, oh my god, I get a lot of stuff here. What the hell? Should I sell this? But I bought this for 40. Oh god, round 7 is way too much. Look at this, guys. What the hell? Okay, we gotta fix that. Eight goblins. Yeah, let's change that for sure. Let's make 3 or 6 goblins here. They all spawn that route. And then we have a lot of rats that also spawn on path NX1. But first we're gonna spawn... How about we do this? We spawn 2 goblins on the first path. Then we spawn a lot of rats. After like 8 seconds. Or 6 seconds. They start in these 2 paths. And then when that is done, I'm gonna spawn another 6 goblins at like 40 seconds. Let's see what that looks like. Round 7. I think that's a bit too late. What about 30? Is that white overlay on the item back intentional debug? Yeah. I should probably get rid of it. Let me see. TFT. To remove. Yeah, here it is. I guess we can just remove it right now. Oh, actually, I want to keep it. Let's debug rect. If has options. Option show collider. Guys, I have a question for those of you who live in Germany. Actually, no, I can't talk about it. Shit. I need to ask someone else. God damn it. I can't talk about it, sorry. Actually can't. Hey, Mind, how you doing, man? There we go. Okay, so now it's actually... Let's restart. From the very beginning. With all of them being level 1. Okay, so that's not actually true. Nice bait, yeah. There we go. Let's place this guy. What do we have? Shield. Weapon. I guess I'll give him this guy. This one here. Guys, I think the items are a bit too cheap. Maybe that needs to be a bit higher. Because I have way too many upgrades. Hello there, Mr. Two-Pit Chicken. Good morning. How are you doing? And Toast Alex, thank you very much for following. Can't talk about what I can't. My favorite ball streamer. Hello there, sir. How you doing, man? My 3-year-old daughter correctly read several sentences out of a comic book today. Then she looked at me and said, I'm going to be a programmer like that. I have never been as proud before. Oh, my man. That's my daughter too soon. 100%. Yes. I'm gonna show her the way. I don't live in Germany, but I'll answer your question. No, I can't, sorry. Impossible, bro. Okay, so here we get the first armored enemies, and then what is round 6? 8 goblins? It's a bunch of rats. Okay. Round 6. 8 goblins. Censorship problems? No. Hello there, Effie. Good morning. No, actually, that's just my name. I bet Zoe will release her first game before Cakez. No, that's not true. That won't happen. Did you do the artwork yourself, or do you have an artist? Did you acquire art somewhere? No, that's my art, mostly. Okay, guys. So the idea is that we spawn a couple of goblins first. Man, that's a lot of goblins, though. They all go here. But okay, I mean, it's just a bunch of goblins. Here it is. So, they start with 4 goblins. Oh, and then there's too many rats. Okay, so wait, but I do have... Is that an issue that I spawned that many? Look at this, guys. Cakez, how did you make the trees swaying in the wind? Shader? Yeah, it's a shader. And I have a YouTube short about it, if you want to check it out. But it is a shader, yeah. I think I'm getting too many of the weapons here. I feel like these guys dropping items is too much. I get too many sword drops. It's too easy. I get too many drops, and I should only have chest drops, not actual item drops from units. We add an enemy on a pogo stick. Pogo stick Tangy, a melee Tangy that can jump and attack flying enemies. This game style has aura, you think? Yeah. Guys, I should probably remove the drops from the goblins, and I'll probably give them back their clubs. Where's the bat? Round 6 already. Improvement. Finally over the urge to put shit in the first level. No, the bat will not be in the first level. We're gonna either have 7 or 10 rounds in the first map. And you will mostly interface with the shop and drop 1 chest. And I think the chest should have special items that are strong. What's the worst advice on YouTube? And C++ gamedev, do it, you can make it. Stats say otherwise, mate. Stats say otherwise? What type of stats you talking about, bro? See, I told you goblins don't use swords. Yeah, I mean, I had to try it out, right? We talked about this earlier. That's just the way it works. You test out things and then see if they work. This time, it doesn't really work. So let's go back to the club. Which we have, fortunately, we have here. So that should be easy to fix. Read clean code. Oof. Reading clean code, man. Can I just get like rid of a piece like that everywhere? Let's see. That looks good. 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 By the way, guys, about the Fiverr situation update, the guy said that the other guys extended their order. That's his last message. So it's most likely that we are going to have to make it ourselves. A thing, unfortunately. You fixed the Goblin Cyclop eye? No, I didn't. Don't listen to Uncle Bob. How does losing work? You must replay the map? Yeah, you replay the map, but you gain something every time you play. So it's not like you lose anything. Make sure you cancel. No, like he can make it. I don't care. Like I will still have him make it because it's 15 bucks. That's fine. I've decided to. I'm gonna pay it. I want to see how he's doing it, and then see what the result is. If it's a really good result, we can use it as a base for all of the other units. So guys, you guys haven't played this. You didn't play. What I have right now in the game is these guys can drop two different types of items. They can drop the sword for these guys, and they can drop the wooden sword. Let's re-roll here. They can drop this sword and the wooden sword. Now, I'm going to remove the drops from normal units and only let the player find items in chests. I'm going to actually remove that drop. I'll show you what I mean. Here. So this is the only chest. This is the chest. And right now, I'll show you the difference. Put one here. What's the wooden sword? Is that a weapon? Yeah, it is a weapon. So these guys on dev can sometimes drop items. Here. Swords. Two different types of swords, and they fly into the inventory immediately. But the problem is that they drop these items too early, and I have two different ways of obtaining items through drops. It's either that it's one of them is the chest from the silver rat, and the other one, and that's like a gambling mechanic. And the other one is obviously the drop directly from these guys. Why is there no walking animation? I paid someone to do it, but he hasn't done it yet, and I have not done it myself yet. I think I'm going to remove the drops from these guys, because it's obsolete now. Why is there still drops from enemies? Chests are in addition to the shop. I think it's an interesting gambling mechanic that makes you... That's like you got lucky, in a way, but it is a deterministic as well. The drop to inventory, yeah, why is it there? Good question. It should be removed, and so I'm gonna remove that now. Loot table. There it was. So goblin archers and wizards... They no longer drop these items. In my opinion, I'm just gonna get rid of these. They drop nothing. I thought about this, right? I thought about, okay, well, a poisonous rat can drop poison-related items, for example. An undead rat can drop poison-related trinkets. Golden rats can drop a lot of oranges. Skeletons can drop bone-type weapons. I thought about these things, but it is, in my opinion, I think it's a little confusing when these guys die, that all of a sudden you get an item drop into your inventory immediately. Like, look. You see that? Sometimes they drop something, sometimes they don't. It's a bit odd, right? And so... yeah, you see this? So I think... he's too serious today, it's good. He can make good progress. You need to give us fake question to pretend it was a real question. Yeah, I know that some streamers do this, but not today, my brother. I really want to make a good game. It's really important to me. Give the walking animation a try? Yeah, I will. Not now, though. I'm currently working on the gameplay loop. I don't need a walking animation for that. But if they drop bones, that's scope creep. And now I need to add another resource to the game that is bones. Not needed. I think it would work if you drop them on the map, like the chests, but putting them into the inventory is confusing. Yeah. But there is an animation that sends it there. You see this? Here. Look at the screen. There is an animation. It flies to the inventory. It's fast, yes, it's fast on purpose. Wait, you're going to make the changes walk? Where do they walk from to? The changes just walk back to their place when they get knocked back, but that's... I've not talked about this just now. So, yeah, we're going to get rid of the these drops. For now. And then just have chest drops. Which will only drop higher tier items. So, not this. Rust iron, withered scimitar, eye patch, leather, executioner's Santa head. Staff. Leather cape, bow, wand. So it will only drop good items. Like that. I think that animation would work if the item stays a bit in place on dev and then... yeah, but I think it's more confusing. It also creates way more programming issues for me. Rather than just removing it and having chests. Hello there, Seamos on YouTube. Good morning. Did you solve the XP formula issue? So far, yes. Let me reset the game again. Enemies, Tangerines now earn experience based on how many kills they do. They need little jet boots. And that works surprisingly well so far, actually. So for example, when these are done spawning... actually, they don't level up yet, okay. Yeah, they level up here and then we get the first one. Can buy that and we can... oh. Eh? What the hell? Wait, I removed some of the tier 1 items. What the hell? Yeah. What's going on? What the hell? The shop. I see the shop was also operating on these items. The tier 1 items. I should probably... So, how do I do that? That's a bit annoying. So we still have these other items there. How do I do that? The shop should have all of the items and lean more towards low-level items. Doesn't Huh? Let's undo this. Yeah, not that though. Of course. Guys, I need some balloons. Give me a second here. What is it? Balloons. Here it is. Cakes, do you know this tier 1 macro? I made that. No, I made it. You didn't do that. Hey, I wrote this. What you talking about, bro? Huh? Your game is poo? You're getting banned for 5 minutes, bro. It's in 5 minutes. Where? Bro, Passos, thank you very much for following, my man. I appreciate that a lot, bro. My man. I literally wrote it. Oh, of course you did, yes. Okay, now it actually re-rolls it properly? I mean, this is tier 0. We should have tier 0, tier 1 items defined differently. And we should change that to tier. And then we'll put all of the low-level items in that. Good. And then the shop will have a combination of tier 0 and tier 1 items. You're looking handsome today. Cake's wife? Bro, what the hell? Go away, man. Alright, and then we are going to rename this to tier 1 items. That's gonna cause a bunch of issues in the game. And then over here we're going to have tier 2 items. Good stuff. And so a chest, an early chest will drop only tier 1 items. The shop will contain all tier items, tier 0, 1 and 2 items. And tier 3 is not implemented yet, so we'll keep that out. All items. Where do I use that? Tangy icon. We don't need that. So that's gone. What is this? Campsite Road chest reward. The chest reward is no longer needed. Level data does not need the chest reward. Let's get rid of that. We don't even need the chest reward. Thing. Cakes, can you say it again? Which character is your favorite from Gothic? Go on. Yeah, go on. The black guy. He's awesome. I love him. Because he has his axe, okay? And he just destroys people. Awesome character. And Gorn is not just a good guy, he's also ripping off other people and looting their caravans. Love him. There we go, get rid of that. Just reward here, gone. Can you name Gothic 3 characters? No, not that many. Because they are kind of forgettable. Not as much as... Gothic 2 and 1 and 2. Easy with the looting accusations. He's looting old camp caravans and then distributing the wares in the new camp. He's getting a lot of money from that, doing that. Okay, the shop is tier 0 and tier 1 and tier 2 items. Tier 0 items, tier 1 items, and tier 2 items. That is the shop inventory. Oh, tier 0 items complains because it probably because of that. Wait. Oh, you don't need a comma at the end. Okay. It was a joke and poor taste. In-game shop modal. Wait, didn't I just build a shop inventory? What? What the hell? Shop inventory. Reroll shop. Why macros instead of consts? I don't think I was able to... I think the problem was that I wasn't able to build an array out of the consts, but I can out of macros. So the macro is literally just a list of array indices, and then I can build an array like this by adding those together. Let's say, right, I add in the tier 4 items here. If I turn that into a const, I don't think it's possible to do that because I cannot have... Like, I need to have... It's weighted items in a list. Not like you could do that in here. Okay, yeah. See? You can't do it any other way. That's why. And then that is the shop inventory. Shop inventory. Let's get rid of the... And then we do shop inventory here. You can? Yeah, then show me how. Show me how, man. Okay, Mr. Smartass. What happened to the 5 animations, Cakes? The guy is not done. He has other things to do. And at this point, I'm like... Okay. I want free code? What do you mean? I don't know. I already have a solution. Who cares? Who gives a fuck, bro? I already have a solution. I don't need free code. Shop inventory here. Here we go. Okay, so that is the last one. Good. Now it's only tier 0, 1 and 2 items for now. And let's see if re-rolling the shop does still work, or maybe I have to reset the game. Sounds reasonable, or looks reasonable to me. Only showing tier 0 items in a way, I think. See, reset the game. All right, and then we do control use. Super okay. I am not getting any tier 1 items because the shop. So basically I need to do that. And can I then get a tier 1 item? I don't have money. I assume you want to have one array because you pick 4 random items from the array, right? Sometimes I want to put tier 1 and tier 2 items into an array. Sometimes I want to put only tier 3 items into the array. Sometimes I want to put tier 2 and tier 3 items into the array. I want to have a list. So, like I want to have something like this. Tier 1 items together with tier 2 items. Or like that would be a different drop for a chest compared to like a higher tier drop compared to only tier 0 items in a chest. Or I want to have tier 0 and tier 1 items. So I want to be able to build different combinations. And I found a solution with macros. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to do macros. It's the maximum weight that changes? No, it's just the entry list. It's just more entries. More different entries. Hello, all but Cakez. Oh, you're getting banned? I'm not going to ban you. I hope Coding Jesus never looks at your code. I don't think my code is that bad. And you do need some magic numbers in your game. In some places. So who cares? It's possible with const arrays and not copying. But whatever. But is it copying? I think this just builds a block of memory here. No, I'm not. That's my own solution, bitch. Okay, shut up. Anyways, okay, so we have fixed that now. We should be good now, actually. So the silver rats in the loot table drops only tier 1 items. Let's test. Okay, let's play. Restart. Let's give him a bow, give him this, give him... Hey, I misclick. Look at this, guys. Look at that, my brothers. Damn. Cakez. Instead of this trash.
Am I so out of touch? No.
Soulfoam just subscribe.
I missed a Soulfoam.
Has anyone else been dumb enough to sub to this clown for 18 months? What a fucking circus. Used Bezos money every time though BTW.
My man, thank you very much for the big support. Thank you so much for the money. Yes, I appreciate the money. I mean you. I mean the money. No, I mean you. My man, thank you very much for the money. Appreciate that a lot. Nice. Why do people feel the need to critique code? Just go write your code and let Cakez write his. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's okay. I appreciate Steve. I appreciate it though. It's basically what I think it is. These people have seen videos on the internet on how to do certain things, and now they become experts on the topic and need to make sure that everyone else knows what to do. That's what it is. Okay, I should not be able to get this item because I haven't even placed her yet. Display chest open. So we need to pick items. Spawned heroes. Hey, didn't we comment this out yesterday? Because my reasoning for that was yesterday. If that's the attitude, I don't suggest stuff anymore. But I'm not talking about you, AK Elements. If you want to know exactly who I'm talking about, is Collector, because he calls my stuff trash. I'm not talking about you. I'm having a good conversation with you. I like it a lot. But I mean Collector mostly right now. I called it trash and gave you a better solution with a lambda. Can parse a filter function. Listen. I'm wasting my time, man. But it's triggering me. I don't know about you, but I find this to be incredibly readable in a list of enemies that drop items to just see what type of items they drop, and then have a second list where it says tier 1 items, these are the items. I only need to look at 2 places to figure out, actually 1 place to figure out what items it is, and then the other place is the loot table. It's literally 2 places for 2 things. I think you can't make it any cleaner than this. I don't want to have a function that is somewhere deep in my code where I'm like, oh, I'm... Anyways, whatever. Alright, so, I mean, the want of sparking, or this one. I can re-roll, right? Ooh. Okay. Damn, this guy got a big upgrade. Nah, I already have that. Hello, Ninx, good morning. It's just a preference question. That's also a big thing. If you don't want to improve, stick to your old ways. See, like, that's the big problem, Mr. Whatever. I'm just not gonna engage. Whatever. I feel like the weapon failing algorithm should add slightly random fall distance so they don't drop off at the same time.
Am I so out of touch?
Wait, what?
No.
Diana is gifting 1 sub to the community.
Oh man, thank you, Diana. Appreciate that a lot for gifting. Oh no, I just don't appreciate that at all. See you later. Hi. They seem to be enjoying the content quite a lot. I figured they needed a server. This guy is terrible at his game. What? Collector is Bay. He's not. Reset game. Okay, my brothers. This time we're going to finish this game. I appreciate the sub though. I do. This is not an era of clean code. Too many resources for that. Well, I just don't believe in clean code, bro. There's good guidelines to follow, but you don't need to have perfect code to write a good game. As long as you are able to work with your code and you can make reasonable updates in a reasonable amount of time, it doesn't matter. That's how I see it. Now, if you're stuck getting no updates out, that's a problem, obviously. You gotta change something, right? Because obviously you are hindering yourself. But otherwise, well, who cares? And oftentimes this feedback comes from people who have not released anything yet. So, yeah. Listen, I'm all about improving code, right? But to a degree. So for example, when we're talking about a filter function to use a lambda, for example, a filter function to use a lambda, what if I code in C? I can't use that. Does that make my code objectively bad because I'm writing it in C? No, that's not true. That's not how that works. Ooh, we got a good item here. Boom. Nice. Can even place one more guy here if I want to. Function pointer in C? Yeah, function pointer in C. Good. Or you could use a macro. But you don't code in C? Mostly C though. So you're wrong, sir. But you can do a function. No need for a lambda. Yeah, you can. That's true. Let's farm some waves, guys. Damn, this guy's doing 80 damage. Crazy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. C style C++, yeah. No C though. C++ compiler means C++. Yeah, but it's the style is mostly C. I don't have anything. I mean, I could give him that. Oh, nice. We're actually getting another bow here. Look at this, guys. Yeah, so the shop slowly gets higher tier items. Anyone that released the game knows that working code is working code. Most of it doesn't need to be perfect. Yep, I agree. Oh my god, look at this massive. See, super cool. Bro, what are you talking about? This macro isn't bad. So, wait. Chat.
God, these guys in chat are so stupid, but okay. Let's engage with that for a second, okay? Just for a second. Not too long. Okay, you don't have enough time, but for a second. How is this macro bad? Give me a valid reason why this macro is bad.
Huh? Why is this macro bad? I'm waiting. Because it's written by a clown. Banned. Worse than editing YAML. Reference to pirate software. Banned. Because you wrote it. Banned. I don't know. Macros are too complex for me. How is it bad? Yeah, I want to know. It creates a copy of the array every time you insert the macro. First valid point. However, explain to me this. Yeah? Let's say I have a shop inventory and I have a drop inventory. Yeah? Give you an example here. These are two lists. Still be copied. Every time I reference tier 1 items, whether tier 1 items is a define or not, it will always be a copy. And I need it to be a copy oftentimes. I could potentially use, like for example, let's find the loot table here. Here. In this loot table, I have a reference from, not a reference, I have a map, let's call it mapping. A mapping from enemy type to list of items they drop. Now, I don't need it to be a weighted item list. I could just give it a list of ints, item IDs as well. I could just give it an item ID list. But this way I can distribute the weights differently depending on what enemy I kill. So for example, I could have an enemy that has the tier 1 item list and then maybe another item again with the same weight on top of that to give it a double weight. So I have control over this. Even if I use consts, it will still be a copy. You can do an enum item tier, and each item has a tier, and then you define what tier the ad. Yeah, but listen, I want more control. I don't want. So like the red silver drops tier 1 items. Okay. Let's say I have a boss. The boss will drop tier 4 items, but he will also drop 1 additional special item. Now, I need to just listen, guys. It's more nuanced than only tier 4 items. It can be something like this. Watch. Tier 1 items and this. And that still works. And why would I do it that way? Well, because maybe I want to make sure that the wooden sword is the most likely drop from this enemy. It gives me more control and it does not impact performance in any way. It's literally just a bunch of bytes more of data, which makes absolutely no difference. Totally no difference. Not a single percentage of performance is lost here. Yeah, exactly. I trade memory for easier to read code, which is fine. Exactly. And people that ship stuff know this, because you cannot make it perfect every time. And if you try to do it, you're wasting too much time on making it to perfect and you're never actually shipping anything. You're not getting there. That's the point. It is easier to read code. It is literally, I do not need to put any comments here. You know exactly what this is doing. Apart from the number one here, which I could say, this is the drop chance, right? And then max drop chance. Now you know. I don't do that on purpose because I am the only person that's working on this. So who cares? That's just for me. And I like that more. It's literally 100% drop chance here. Anyways, let's move on. Maybe I think we have a problem, guys. Rerolling the shop is worse than buying items. The cost of rerolling the shop sucks. Because I never do it. I just realized it is too much money to reroll the shop. It's better to buy an item to get a replacement. So for example, I'm more inclined to purchase the club and then upgrade this guy for 100 bucks than to spend 60 bucks on rerolling.
Oh. Oh. Mwah. Mwah. Come on, Zoe.
My game. My Zoe. My game. Do 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 do. Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Fernando, thank you very much for following, man. What if you get a reroll every turn and free reroll every turn instead of choosing money, costing money? Make the reroll cost very little and increase the cost every time, then reset the cost when you buy something? Yeah, probably. You could have rerolls start out cheap and get exponentially more expensive, and if they're too cheap, there you lose the chance to you lose the chance aspect. I think 60 is too much. It's gotta be 20. And then it resets every time I buy an item. I wonder how it works in gnomes. Let me test that. Oi. Let me see here. Oh. But area of effect, does that do much? Physical damage, I think that one's better. Especially since this upgrades to this. Falling weapons animation, ... Yeah, what's the problem with that? Isn't that great? I feel reroll costs more than minimum item. If reroll cost is more than the minimum item, there's no point in buying reroll. You're right. Reroll cost should change. We're gonna do that. Let me test how they do it in gnomes. Because they have the same system. Here we go. I think they have like a reroll cost of 1 or something. Oops, I clicked the wrong link. Whoops, continue. So let me see, the shop costs 3. I mean, this is literally 3 gold here. And when I buy this, it gives me a new one here. Anyway, the game really looks like a done game now. Anyone looking at it, the store would perceive it as a full game. I think it's almost there. Me too. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I feel like you need some positivity, Cakes. Just wanted to say that I honestly think you are one of the top 5 dev streams on Twitch. I really enjoy it. Keep being awesome and doing your thing. I wish your chat was a little less toxic. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, man. I really do. Yeah, I'll ban people more over time, and they will realize. No, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, man. You have a good balance between coding and other stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Really do mean it. Maybe it always gives a costlier one, Cakes. You mean this shop here? No. It is a random one. I bought like 1 million items now. Yeah. No, okay, so now we know it is a random one, but the reroll cost of 60 is too much. So let's turn that down. Reroll rolls all slots and buying only rerolls 1 slot. That is correct, but I have never encountered a situation where buying an item is worse than not re-rolling. There are some, like, I think I need to double, half it to 30. I think 30 is a good one. Let me see. This is false, so we get rid of that soon. Reroll. Reroll cost is from... Ah, here it is. So we can double it. 20 plus 10, maybe like that. Sid Meier's design strategy? Yeah, in a way. I'll do it like this for now. But it should be, maybe it should be exponential. But is exponential a good thing? Also, how does... Well, I want to test that again. Steam. In Megalod, it always gives the next tier after you buy. Yeah, I know. Play. No. I did download it already, bro. Play. Let's test. Rerolling can get you a more desired item, so it might be worth spending more for a chance. Yeah, true. 17, awesome. It increases by 1 gold every time. So if we start out, okay. So it doesn't go up that crazy high. Let's try doing this. Maybe +5. I'll do it like this. See how it feels. I do have a shield though, so we get that. Then we have another club, which I don't need. I could get this, and then... Nah, this one's useless. So this is where I would re-roll. Oh, look at that. I love that a lot. Look at the sister, man! Awesome! Now we farm 60 monies for a new bow. Good morning, sorry I'm late today. That's fine. Good morning, bro, Mr. 10x developer. Why is Thomas Brush on the preview for the stream? That scared me. We watched a video of his earlier. That's why. In Megaloot it doubles and after the round clears, it's back to base values. I don't really have rounds. That's the thing. I do have in a way, but yeah. There's got to be a way. Like when I buy an item, I should reset the cost, I think. Uh-oh. That is a lot. Holy. Damn. The cool thing is you don't lose anything. $56 damage. Armor is crazy. Yeah, for these guys we need magic damage. Okay, wait. Let's make the mage more accessible. How about we give him 130 cost? Wait, so that's wrong. 120, I guess? Let's test that. Reset. Game. Now he has 120 cost, but first we place this guy. Play. What else do we have here? This. Man. I really need to do this on click down. I'm too fast. It needs to be on mouse down, the item clicks. If I click too fast... Yeah. I can click on the item and drag out immediately, but not actually get it. So it needs to be on click down. That needs to be improved. Otherwise, you can't really do it really fast. So I think what I want to do is not on the do button. Let's see, in-game shop. Selecting items. It is when we click the button. Where's that? Do button. Here. Not do button. But essentially when the button is hot. So in this entire thing. How did you settle on the theme of the game? I explored a lot and at some point I found something that was somewhat reasonable. But I'm still not 100% happy because maybe the oranges don't really work for appeal of the game. Stop leaking? Yeah, I'm working on that. Let me see. Have an item. Okay, this is drawing the item. If the button is hot, here we go. If consume just pressed action primary, I'm gonna do this. Select it. There we go. And then for the do button at the very top, we are going to just comment this out. Do an if check here. Do that. And then only activate the button when the animation for the shop is done. So what does that mean? When I click the shop, there's an animation here, like this. When this animation is done, I activate the button, otherwise I don't. Ketsugi and Fernando, thank you guys for following. Good. Now, let's see if this makes it a lot easier to play, to interface with the shop. No. It's not actually doing anything. Because the do button is here. Okay. The do button consumes the left click, and so that means the do button needs to be after this. This is after the is hot call. Oh my god! It's lagging. I can't use the editor. There it is. Because the button call consumes the left, the primary click. There we go. VS Code, yeah. I was doing so good. Oh yes. So why did I do this just now? I'm now selecting an item on mouse down. My mouse is still down. I'm selecting the item and I can literally try to release it on the unit too. So what I do with my hero list on the right, I can mouse down the unit and then release the mouse and it places it. So I don't have to click on the unit, move my mouse and then click again. I can just drag and release. That is really, that is, what is it called? That is not convenient. It's convenience in the game. And so I just implemented the same thing for the bows, for the shop. Now I just need to put intuitive, yeah. Now I just need to put the release on it too. So let's say we have it selected and either we click on it or we release on it. Let's see, where's that? The button is hot. We have a hovered, we have a selected one and then we hover over a hero. And either we consume the primary button or consume just released action primary. There we go. That should be it. Should give Z a try. Z is a... Huh? So it's consuming a release button. Oh, pressed or released is the same. If I click pressed, it's the same as released. Really? So maybe I have to do it the other way around. Does that work? No, this is my code. No, this doesn't work either. That works. I can't release. Why not? Bull. Just, yeah. Yeah. That's annoying. Let's see what this does. We really need a non-electron based editor. I don't think we're gonna get one, bro. It doesn't go in here in this loop. Oh, it's hovered item. I'm so stupid. I mean, hovered item works too. So that was the wrong loop actually. Not hovered item, hovered hero. Let's see if this works. Oh my god, it works. This is so awesome. So now, watch how fast I can upgrade. So fast. And that makes it so much quicker to work with this. Awesome. Okay, we fixed that. We did that now. And then I think I can do the same thing with this. Yeah. I need like reroll. God, that's great. Okay, so now we have the shop. And we need to do the same thing for the AoE here. Okay, one more thing. The user activated abilities. User abilities. Here. User abilities. Is it here? Here. It is not clicking the button. Ne? Update usability, yeah. Here. This is just pressed, selected, consume, cancel. Secondary, no. UI is hot, just pressed primary. Wait, huh? Active ability. But it's not on mouse down, is it? UI is not hot. Really? Ah, do button invisible, there it is. What is this if check here though? If the selected ability is... Oh, I see. UI is not hot and we pressed or just released. Yeah, either pressed or released and that. So we need the cooldown and we need to press or release. Cakez, are you removing the clicking action? Are we going back to pre-alpha where people don't know that you need to... No. I'm adding that to it, but I'm not removing the clicking action. So right now... Huh? Oh, I can't click it. You can click right now and click again. You can also click here and click again. That works, but you can also drag and release. I'm adding the drag and release to it because very fast gamers will prefer drag and release over click and click. Because click and click is more tedious than drag and release. But both work, which makes it consistent with placing heroes, because that's how that works. So it's all about convenience right now. Which in this case scenario here, we need to either, like, we probably need to do this here and then we... These two if checks. And then this is an or check here. We just release the action primary. Or we just press the primary action. That is activating it. And then selecting it is not the button. We do the button here at the bottom. We just do an invisible button. But we check if the button is hot. And we have either... And we have just pressed the action primary. There we go. Cake, speaking of convenience, I was wondering if we should have a button in the game to refund. Leave me alone. There we go. I think that's the best thing to do. Nice. Actually good addition. Nice job, Cakes. Yeah, it becomes apparent when you play the game. Look at this. It does work. And does it also work by clicking? I think it does work. Let me see. Yes. Then we most likely need to have one more important thing. The release can only work if we have selected the ability over time. So we need to have a static selection timer, which is 0, float by the way. And then the selection timer increases plus equals delta time. It's important that we selection timer, we add time to it so that we cannot quickly like double click. So for example, I can click on this button with my mouse down, move off the button and release early, and accidentally use the ability right next to the button because I'm off the button and I released by accident. And so now we need to add a timer that needs to fill up before we can actually activate it again. And that timer needs to be balanced, meaning, where is it? Releasing the primary button can only work when the timer is actually bigger. So we have just released the action primary together with a selection timer that needs to be greater than 0.2f, so 200 milliseconds. Bool, just released is this. So, and then we add the just released boolean here. And then we'll put a comment here that says safeguard to prevent Cakes, bro, if you're gonna get pissy about me typing this, but you need to let someone else test this shop. I don't think it's good, especially the item combination part. This is really bad. Instead, let people sell trash items they don't want and add a purchasability upgrade. You are literally the only person in chat that has this sentiment, bro. And you're not saying why it's bad, you're just saying that it's bad. Like, that is my problem with you and all of the feedback you give me, because you're just saying it is bad. But you have never given me once a reason for why it's bad. Refactor into 40 file stream? Yeah. As soon as the pointer is outside the button, decide if it's drag or click Cakes. I'll try the timer. If the timer works, then we do that. If not, we'll figure out something else, right? Either the selection timer is 0 here, and then we do the 0 here. Anywhere else? No, I think that's it. Timer is gonna fuck with my brain. We'll see, right? It depends. If this sucks and it's bad and feels clunky, then I'll figure out a better solution. But this is the solution for now. Because I have this, like Shade 11, you might not know this, but this is also on the hero bar. And you didn't notice it at all. It's the same, I have the same safeguard on the hero bar. I don't need it on the items, but I need it on the hero bar. And now on the user abilities too. It's bad because it isn't good. You need to bring out specifics, otherwise you're just talking bullshit. Ooh, I like that a lot. Look at that, guys. God, I love this. I love this a lot. The shadows make a massive difference to the visual aesthetic. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, bro. God, that feels so good to play. God, that feels good to play. Oh my god, that feels good. I love it, man. Starting to feel really good and polished. Nice. I bet he has memory leak in his game always. When he's coding and doing a lot of DLL reloads, it crashes. Dude, bro, but that's not my game. That is Visual Studio Code, not freeing memory, and I can't do anything about that. That's Visual Studio Code, man, and that has never been an issue ever before, man. Before I updated the latest version of Visual Studio Code. I should not have done that. I should have turned... Guys, how do I turn off auto updates in Visual Studio Code? Settings UI. Update. When enabled, automatically checks for extension updates. Go. Enable download new versions. Yes. Disable. Show release notes after an update. Don't... Yeah. That's important because then I know it updated when it shouldn't have. Oh. IntelliSense update delay. Update delay. Code analysis. Huh? Large file optimization? There's no way. Special handling for large files to disable certain memory intensive features. Okay, I have that. Large file confirmation controls the minimum size of a file in megabytes before asking for confirmation when opening the editor. Sounds like something you want. Okay. Yeah, I guess we got that. Are you sure it's not your game eating all of the RAM and not leaving anything for the rest of the apps? I'll test, but I don't think it is, no. Like, my game is 400 megabytes, man. Okay, let me reload. Rebuild. But it just crashed without me hardcode reloading, man. See, like, it doesn't increase. Let's do it again. It doesn't do anything. Bro, I'm not leaking memory. It's coded in a way that it's almost impossible to leak memory, man. So, no. Look at the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Yeah, but that's Visual Studio Code. I have no control over that. Also, it's really annoying that this constantly... Hello? Hello? Oh my god! Hello? You can hold control to freeze the task manager. I see. Thank you. King and Rush with the casual 32 megabytes. Yeah, that one's crazy, isn't it? But I think the way this works is because it doesn't use memory right now, so it's dumbing it down. Let's see. Do that one more time. No, the memory is fine. It just uses the GPU and CPU to recompile the game, which is okay. No. Cakez, I made a custom debugger script for GDB. And it leaks memory like crazy, lol. I literally ate up 64 gigabytes of RAM and then overwhelmed the key W pad that does memory swapping. So the... What is that? Key is swapped? 51 VS Code instances? Yeah, like Visual Studio Code is just dog, man. Is the console window problem fixed? No. Like, how am I supposed to fix that? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, return? I think I did. Like, exit. Or do I have to do exit 1 or 0? Back to fog? No. Do you do exit 1? Just exit. I did. Let me see. Task manager. Visual Studio Code 56. Oh gosh. I don't think it's fixed, man. Guys, it's fine. It is how it is. Okay, Visual Studio Code is gonna give us a roadblock. It is how it is. Whatever. Let's just move on, man. I'm tired of this. I want the longbow. You can expand, like, I don't care. At this point, I'm done. Who cares? Want me to publish my build script? It doesn't do this, at least on Mac. You're using Visual Studio Code 2, man? Farmer? What are you using to compile, Clang? That performance-aware programming course from Casey doesn't seem so bad now, does it? Has nothing to do with this. My game has good performance. We fixed the performance. We literally made it like 100 times faster with a lot of enemies. We know how to add performance to the game. This is a Visual Studio Code problem, my friend. Has nothing to do with performance. Visual Studio Code is just terrible. That's all it is, bro. Okay, guys, we're going to place the mage to beat these goblins. 120 gold. Where do we place him? Here? Give him the staff. Ooh, 90 damage. Damn. Cakez, regarding the pricing of reroll in Megaload, I do a min-max between using reroll or purchasing items to get a new reroll. Early game reroll is cheap. Late game buying item is cheaper. I'm not sure if this helps. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Guys, I need to go to the bathroom. So far, I think the level is almost finished. This 6 out of 7, I think this round is a little crazy. But I think we are good now. Give me 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. 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 Oh no. No. I'm not falling down again, guys. No!
Game over? How did I lose? Copyrighted playlist? Don't think so. This is still Bloons. We're listening to the Bloons playlist, but I guess we'll go back to Campfire for now. This one here. I appreciate that, bro. Is this Bloons? Winter is coming. Tim Haywood, winter is coming. Tim Haywood, winter is coming. Yeah, that's from Bloons. Yeah. Now, about those overlapping shadows on the trees, who cares? Who cares about that? Okay, guys. Okay, we'll play one more time. Reset the game. So this is from start to finish. Let's see. Starting point. Wow, that's a lot. I get a lot of items, holy. Like, you get so strong with this. Depending on what items you get, it's so easy. Got this guy. I feel like there needs to be a done button in the skill tree. No, actually, I have this already. What do we get here? Oh, we get this one. That's good. Wait, I don't have the same thing on the inventory release, so we need to have that too. I need to fix that as well. The inventory doesn't have the drag and release. Oh no, he needs more range. He can actually attack them. Shit. Why not decrease the amount of money you get at the start? Yeah, I might have to do that. But it's all a balancing act at the moment. Holy! Oh my god. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. Farmer, you can link me your build script on Discord if you want to. Or did you link it? Sorry, I missed that. You still here, bro? I would love to take a look at your build script, man. Let me see here. Okay. Round 7. I'm spawning too many rats here. They need to be spawning on path index 0. I mean, that's a bit confusing, so I guess I'll just spawn them in 2. But only 12. Gonna head out. Have a nice day. Thank you very much for joining, man. Feeling strong in the beginning is good for retention. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That was easy as hell. Lose no hearts. Let's begin again. Oh wow. Looking good. Damn, look at that, guys. Get up. Thank you, man. I'll open that here. Damn, he's blocking like crazy, bro. 20% block chance. Yeah. Ooh, we got a staff here too. And then when we buy that staff, maybe we can do a combination. All right, so this time we're going to place him here. More rats. Okay, less rats. Okay, a bit more rats maybe. Okay, maybe less increase. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Goodness. It's a bit too much to tone it down. Okay, a bit less rats. Okay, one more silver rat. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, see you tomorrow. God, is this guy annoying. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, maybe that was a bit much though, but I guess I'll have to just wait to see what playtesters think. Very nice. How else would you tune in experience if they don't actually experience it first, Collector? Yeah, this guy is just talking bullshit every day. Okay, I think we're good, guys. So now there's the big question. Let's say this is the first map. I think it's a bit too overbalanced. It's still a little bit too difficult. But let's say this is the first map, right? What next? Do I keep this as the first map? Maybe balance it a bit where... I make it easier. New map versus change the skill tree. This skill tree won't change here. And then I will do the skill tree here as well, of course. I'll figure that out. In the same like idea. New map. New map. I suppose we can do a new map, huh? I was thinking, yeah, no, the skill tree here will change to like the, what is it called? This structure, if that makes sense. More lipstick on pig. Okay, less lipstick. Collector's just an Omega troll or something, I don't get it. Yeah, free collector, fuck cakes, basic. Okay, bro. No, collector is just continuously complaining. Don't ban, it's funny. Guys, that is how you balance a game, man. That's what you do. What else do you do? How you guys want to do it, huh? Anyways, I need a break. Okay, we have the first level done. I'll think about what I'll do next. I'm gonna send you over to Toggle a bit this time. He's been raiding me a lot lately as well, so gotta return the favor. Okay, so I'll think about what to do next. And Okams, thank you very much for following. Same map, but level 1 equals no alternative path. 3 get free burns, level 2. 3 get burns, level 2. Same map, but level 1 equals no alternative path. Oik. Cakes. Anyways, guys, I hope you had fun today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'm working on the game. We're making slow but steady progress. That's the important part. We'll get there. Definitely new biomes. Well, you gotta start with one biome, right? And play through that. But yes. It is slow but steady. That's important. And yeah, I'll try to not work too much tomorrow, so I'm not that drained. Man, that's a stupid job. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Peace. On YouTube as well. See you guys.